What's going on, guys? Sean here. Today I have a really special video. Yesterday in the mail I got 2 gifts from 2 of my buddies over at the Millie Club. So what we're gonna do today is take a look at those gifts and maybe do something with them. Alright guys, so first up we have something from my buddy Sam. So shout out to Sam. Let's take a look. Oh, shit. Hit the camera. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's see. Alright. We have plastic, and then what do we have in here? That corner started because I don't want to damage anything. Would you look at that? I see SDK on the back. So if you guys don't know, that's Sharp Dress Knives. And this is a black micarta Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch scale. And wow. That feels really good. I've had Sharp Dress Knives micarta before, but it was a different kind of micarta, and it was the one that's like super smooth, no texture, and I didn't care for it too much. Their workmanship was good, but I like stuff with a little bit more grip. So this is the kind of micarta right here. I believe it's canvas. It's the kind that darkens up a lot if you oil it. So it takes oil or holds oil, however you want to say it. And it feels really nice. It feels like just the slightest amount of fuzziness, but it's not nearly anything like Terra Tough. So it's feels much better and much more normal than that, in my opinion. So this scale is actually for this knife right here, my 3.5 XM18 Harpoon Spanta. So yeah, stay tuned and we will be installing that and checking it out. But first, we're gonna move on to our second gift, which is crazy. I never in a million years expected such an amazing community and people to be so generous and supportive. So I could not be more grateful. So yep, let's check out the next one. Next up, we have something from my buddy Tony, also at the Millie Club. The story behind this one is actually, I made a post asking people's opinions on what deep carry clip they like for the Para3 because I've only tried the MXG clips and I really like them, but I was curious about the Lynch. And Tony had commented and he told me, hey bro, I have an extra Lynch clip laying around. Would you want it? I said, absolutely, sure. I mean, if you don't want it or you're not using it, I can put it to use. So I really appreciate that. This Lynch clip is a sand wash finish, which is my favorite finish. It basically matches, like if you're comparing it to a Hinderer, which there's no reason to do that, but it would be the same thing as their working finish. And it also matches with a Spidey Chef perfectly. Here's my Spidey Chef, and as you can see, that clip is a perfect match. Match made in heaven, as I like to say. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is install this clip because that is the quicker and easier thing out of the 2. So I'm gonna take my Para3 This is the DLT exclusive in M390 blade steel with a satin finish and red G10 scales. You're going to need a T6 Torx driver. And guys, I can't say it enough. Invest in quality tools. It makes all the difference in the world when you're working on these knives. You don't want to be stripping out your screws, and you know, that creates so much of a hassle. I've had these for a while now. I've worked on hundreds of knives with them, and they still work just as good as the day I got them. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Weeha. And this is the soft touch Weeha Torx drivers, and they come in a set of 6, and it's like 20 something dollars. Very, very worth it. You can find those on Amazon. I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that, but you guys can find it pretty easily. All right, so first I need to get these screws in place in the clip. That is the easiest way to do this. Oh, and it's not necessarily extremely easy. So nope, can't come through the side. Always put them on the driver and work it through the hole, just like that. All right, so we got this one in. We're gonna go ahead and put that on the knife. Actually, to get started, you have to spin the clip around because of the way it's bent to keep good tension on the clip. You gotta spin around towards the back to get it started. And then you just spin it back around the right way, like so. Very good looking clip. Thank you again, Tony. I really appreciate it. You are the man. Great guys over there. Great guys. All right, so let's get the rest of these in. We're gonna do it basically the same way. Now, I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but I try to keep the screw straight up and down and turn the knife over onto it and work it into that hole. So let me sit down so I'm at a better angle where I can see and still keep this in view of the camera. So I'm bracing the driver with my thumb from my left hand, and that kind of helps guide me down into that hole. Snug that down. Normally with a Lynch clip, if you buy it from Casey, he gives you 3 screws with it, and they are a different size head, and he also gives you a little hex driver with it, and it has like a deeper head, so it sits on the end of the hex wrench a lot better. But you can still make do no matter what. You just have to, you know, think about how you're gonna do it. There's always a way. Tighten these down. You're gonna have to go at these at just the slightest angle. But what I do, so I go at that angle to get it in there. So I'm inside the screw head. Oh, focus. All right. Oh, and I'm looking through the camera right now. not at what I'm doing because I'm trying to let you guys see this. So right now you see I had to go in at an angle. Then I'm just going to use this like a pry bar and pry. Oh shit. You're going to pry upward, but you have to stay pushing in also to keep it down in that head. And you pry upward just a little bit till you feel the clip flex, the slightest amount, just to get you that little extra bit more straight up and down on the screw before you tighten it down. And that's a little trick that I've learned. And it's the same thing for this side. So you're gonna go in at an, fuck. Damn thing doesn't want to focus, does it? Gonna go in at an angle. Get the head in there. All right. Then I'm gonna lift up and snug it down. Now guys, it's still not gonna be perfectly straight up and down, but it will be straight up and down enough, or vertical enough over top of the screw that you're not gonna slip out of the threads. But remember, you wanna be pushing in also. You want to be pushing in to the threads and lifting up on the clip a little bit so it, you know, it can flex just, you know, ever so slightly. And that's how you're going to get those screws in without damaging anything. So yeah, that looks pretty good, guys. Let's see how it is in my pocket real quick. Oh yeah, that's great. I love it. Just for comparison, I will show you Para3s with the MXG clip. So this is the Lynch clip, and then here we have my Maximet Para3. As you can see, these MXG clips look really, really good. After I carry this one for a little bit, I will make my opinion on which I like better. But as far as looks go, I think the MXG goes better with the Para3. That's just my personal opinion. And you know, some of the MXG clips, in my opinion, have a little bit too much flex to them because I always have my fingers digging into the clip, especially if I'm flicking my knife. So, you know, some of them have a little bit too much flex, but on the Para3, with this clip specifically, there's really, you don't get much flex at all. So the MXG Para3 clip works out really good for me. But anyways, that is that. So hang tight and we'll move on to the Hinderer. All right, guys, we are back. So for the Hinderer, the tools that you're gonna need is a 2mm hex driver, and the one I'm gonna be using is a MIP hex driver. This company makes tools for RC cars, and these are extremely high quality and very hard steel tips. So that's an excellent choice if, you know, you were wondering what's a good 2mm hex to work on your knives. And then I have a number 14 spanner bit, and this is made by Irwin. Yeah, I got this on Amazon for like $6, I believe, and that will fit your spanner side or your lock side. All right, and then a penny. That is what I'll be using for this flathead screw right here. So, oh, and I don't want to forget to mention 2 other things that might be very helpful, or you can use one or the other. It's either tape, or you can get a business card and cut a little notch out up here. This is what I prefer. And the reason for this, if you've ever taken apart an XM18, you will know it is an extreme pain in the ass when you're trying to put it back together, because the handle nuts on this side want to, you know, keep falling out when you're trying to get everything lined up and put back together. So this will prevent those from dropping out. And the person who actually told me about this trick is one of my subscribers. I forget which one, but shout out to him. I appreciate the tip. It works very good. So let's start off with the 2mm screws right here. Then you want to drop all your screws into, like, this rubber mat with the edge works perfectly and will keep you from losing your hardware. Another thing you could do is use a little magnetic tray. Right. Now I'm gonna take my penny, and I don't think I need the spanner because this has been disassembled before, and I'm just gonna hold this together with my finger back here. And I should have done this from the start, but you want to open up the blade to remove the tension from the lock bar. Once you get it out a good bit, you can do the rest by finger, or finger and thumb, by hand, because this screw has a lot of threads, and it would be a real pain in the ass if you did the whole entire thing with the penny. So, there we go. And see how that hit the table and rolled off and then landed on my rubber mat here, hit the edge and stop rolling. So point proven, using a rubber mat underneath of where you're working that has a little ledge built around it is extremely helpful. So scale comes off just like that. I take a microfiber, and this is just oil from my pivot. Wipe that down. Actually, you know what? Use my 91% alcohol, and that really gets up anything that could be on there. And then any alcohol that's left over evaporates. So yeah, I highly suggest alcohol for you know, any type of knife cleaning. Works great for a doll, or all of it, if you want to use proper English, proper grammar. All right, so I'm kind of just gonna do this in reverse order. I know Hinderer knives in the factory, they actually start with these screws, so maybe I should do that and work my way up towards the pivot. So since I have my business card in here, I'm able to just drop all these screws into place just like that and not have to worry about these handle nuts dropping through the other side and then, you know, having to realign them and work them through is just a major pain in the ass. So, oh God, what am I doing? You want to do it in order from, you know, one side to the other. So I'm doing it all kinds of messed up. I'll start down here. All right, so I'm going to loosen this back up a little bit. We're going to go to the second one. from the bottom. Oh, don't do that. It's a little bit difficult when you're trying to get it all on camera to where people can actually see it. So if I'm looking like I'm doing it awkward, trust me, it's really only because I'm trying to do it on camera. And if you don't believe me, try it for yourself and you will see very quickly. It's definitely not as easy as it looks. So, you know, the big time knife channels like Nick Shabazz, Metal Complex, Birdshot, you know, the ones that I really started watching in the beginning, and like my favorite channel now, Neve's Knives, you know, they make everything look really good and really easy, but that's because they have had tons of practice and a lot of trial and error, and it takes time to learn how to, you know, get this video stuff down. It's definitely not something you just jump into and automatically good at. All right. Now I can remove my card. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but that is my pretty face right there. And then down at the bottom is my Instagram at _barber_god. And yeah. I am a licensed barber for anybody who didn't know yet. All right, so first things first, before you flip it, you want to check your centering, because as you can see, the blade is laying up against the show side scale or show side liner. Now, if I was to flip this, I might end up with a nice scratch across the thickest part of my blade, which would be the Spanto grind line. So unless you want to do that, you want to check that before you flip it. So let me try adjusting this pivot and see if I can get it to center up. So I'm going to take this spanner bit and I'm going to press it up against my stomach, basically to hold that in place. And then I'm taking my penny and I'm just getting a little bit extra leverage without it spinning to tighten up that extra little bit. Then I take my spanner and turn it to get the screw facing the direction that I want, which I kind of like it when this screw is kind of straight up and down like that. Oh shit, you don't want to do that. You want to check it first. Now, I don't believe it is touching, but it is damn close. Yeah, no, it didn't touch, but it is very freaking close. Very, very close. Too close for comfort. So, what we're going to do is slide this card back in here. And what we are going to do is loosen these up. Just a little bit. Just enough to where stuff can, you know, flex and move and adjust. And then we're going to leave our pivot down snug. So, shit. Since I loosened that up, you see the blade has came over a little bit, which is good in a way. So what we're going to do, or what I do, all right, trying to get a good angle. So once you loosen these three up, I just work it, you know, up and down, side to side, just wiggle it around and try to make sure this scale is, you know, exactly in place as designed. And then you can check here to see if it lines up with your liner. And then what I'm gonna do is I need to find something to shove in here. All right, cut out a little piece of cardboard. All right. And I am going to, down here where you have space to get it started, stick it down in there and push it. You want to wedge it down in there. Hold on, let's get this nice and good. All right. So we're wedging that in there, and that is pushing the blade over to the clip side. Wedge it in a little bit more. We want as much tension as we can get. So it is very close to the clip side, which, as you can see, there's a lot more space over here now. So now that we did that, what I'm gonna do is loosen up this pivot, and I'm gonna go ahead and snug these back down in order like I was supposed to from the start. 1, 2, 3. You don't need to crank them down too tight. You just want to get them nice and snug. Then going to tighten the pivot back up. Gonna tighten this thing down real good. And then we are going to remove this and see how we are looking. All right, so right away, I can see that it is much better than it was. But being a perfectionist, much better isn't always really what I'm going for, ever. So, try to get good lighting, a good angle. I mean, that's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. All right, so let's give it a flip. All right, we have no blade play. Pivot is nice and tight. Maybe I think the pivot might be a little too tight. Hopefully this doesn't bring it off center. Just brought it back a hair. Yep, no, still in the same spot. Drop shut. Check for blade play. 0 blade play. All right, so let's see how the scale feels now that we have it installed. Oh yeah, I really like that, man. Big shout out to Sam and the Millie Club. Great guys over there. Great club. Yeah, man, I am liking that. Very cool. Clean my blade off with my handy alcohol. 91%, guys. Get you some. Whatever is on there from the cardboard is hard to get off. But believe me, if I was not using 91% alcohol, that shit would not be coming off. So it does really help out. Wow. That is freaking beautiful and badass all in one. I mean, would you look at that? And look at that beautiful, beautiful bevel that I did. In order to get that beautiful, even looking bevel, I had to do 3 different angles on the Lansky system. See if I can melt finger flicks though. Yep. Let's see about the thumb studs. Yep. All right, guys. So, thank you for watching. And if you like what I'm doing here, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button, and you'll be able to see all my upcoming stuff. So, yeah. Stay tuned. See you guys in the next one.